Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. It's underscore back again to the root of today, and we are it's one-on-one live coverage that we're going to be bringing to you live here, and we're going to be having this kind of the evening session, finishing up. See, Ametosha, Bado. Having some of the session here to make sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one. And here, guys, we have everything now. It's put where necessary, because even the timbers, you can just check on them. They are already organized in one section to make sure that it's paving and becoming so decent work done. As whenever you want to prepare using the talk about the 3x2, we have the 3x2, we have 4x2 here. Whenever you want to use them, you're going to be so effective whenever you want to select on them here. And also this kind of the timbers here, you can just check. These are 4x2, 4x2, these are 3x2, and they're so fantastic here whenever they just are put in one section to make sure that people can just select which kind of the timber you need. All of these ones here, they were placed here to make sure that they were the formwork that was building the veranda, we can call it the deck, outside here, and it has now been removed. So it's now looking darkish here because of the oil that was being applied. So as this kind of the cement cannot attach with this kind of the boards here. So as you can just take the boards, they are blackish in color. So it means that that's how it was reflecting from the top here, because it's now formulating a very fantastic bond whereby there's no cement can ever attach itself. This is the best unique that I've even seen with this engineer, because is making everything so fantastic, because there's no much of talking about, oh, maybe one of the board, maybe the tropper maybe was attached onto the cement there, maybe because of the cement has attached with it, because you can just see at this position there are much of the boards that remained here because of the reattachment with the cement. But to this kind of the troppers here, there's nothing that was reattached onto this kind of the deck on top here. So this is how the look is now coming out. It has been a raining season, and we talk about it's everything so fantastic. Even the stairs have been removed, those kind of the formwork that were built here, and I can just spot this electricity piping that was placed here, and it's now becoming so fantastic. Even here we have much of them that are matching here, and this where we're gonna be having the breeding area of the dogs right now. So this is how it's now looking, a new look of the G Castle, and everything is so fantastic as we tangle this kind of the video to make sure that you are getting much of the things that are coming out here. So we have already increased this kind of a wall. It was no longer available to enclose this kind of the timbers that are aligned here to make sure that everything is covered, and you can never view it from the village area. You cannot view it as so fantastic and check on the talk about the iron sheet. So it's now becoming like a cube, or I can call it a box. Now you can just check how it's looking like, and it's being attached very properly. We have much of the sand that still is available here, and we have these are the water penetrators that will make sure that water is being drained out from this top of the deck here, so they can just be penetrating through this kind of the piping and going to the ornamental fish pond that are going to be located down there. So this is now the preparation. This is how the gutter are going to be, and that's why we are talking about it. It's going to be so secure as nothing will ever penetrate like water to the other section. So it's going to be channeled this way, as you can just check. Let me go to the far end so I can just show you what I mean by this kind of the fantastic moment. So it has been placed with timbers because it was raining, but it will be gotten out because this is how it looks like, and you can just check it on your own, as it will be here, as the iron sheet will now penetrate and get to this kind of the water channel that will be just delivering water to the far end, as it has been already created here, and it will be plastered, and you can just take it's just a one brick, and it's just gauged how it's so fantastic. So the water will be moving from the far end, accessing to this point here, as it's gonna be penetrating here, and where you can just see the channel charcoal being we can talk about arranged there, so they can just burn some charcoal. That's where we will be having an underground tank that will be receiving this water, and we shall be having there a tower that will be pumping or will be handling talk about much of the water that will be pumped to the upper stairs, so as it will be just coming back to the house using gravity and the motion of water. So this is the achievement, because I talked about the G Castle has to go on despite the challenges, despite how the people are going to be talking about A, B, C, D, but everything has to go on as analysts. And I think I've triggered much of the people so they can just wake up, as we have another analytification. From here, you have just checked, they have just formulated this kind of a place here. It's going to be having another slab that will be having electrification that will be passing through, and it will be like a zip like lights that will be making sure that it's occurring from the far end of our area here. So as you can just check, even the tree, guys, we have trimmed it, and there's not much of the tree now accessing to the house. So much of the people are talking about again to make sure that the tree is trimmed, as there's not much of the interference to the house of the G Castle here. So this is what we are embracing, and much of the things still are undergoing, because tomorrow we're going to be making sure that we're going to be placing this kind of the parallels. We're going to be placing here the parallels, and also constructing here the wall that I've just shown you from the far end. It's going to be coming to the other end here, up to them where the water will be just going to, so as we can be having the tiling of this kind of the gutter very properly, because it's going to be tiled, plastered and screeded and tiled from the top to the surface area. Whenever water will be coming, it will be getting the tiles and going to the flow of the motion, how water will be accessing the other far end. So it has become so much of the time that we have just taken, and we are making sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one, and we will be still updating you, so as you can just gauge and get what is really happening to the G Castle, because much of the things still are persisting. Much of the people are asking about Gintu. Have just checked about you have brought a car here, and also you are continuing with the construction. Where do you get much of the money from? This is just much of the call to much of the people that when you decide to do something with your own perspective, and don't doubt yourself talking about, oh, you know, because of money. Just do it, and whenever you talk about you can do it, and God will know how it will progress and prosper too, from one position to another. And it's about how we are doing our things and making things happen out, because it has not been easy, and you know, to construct a bigger castle like this one here, it's not recommending you to have a little money. You should have an awesome amount of money for you to start up and reach where I've just reached. So I'm making steps every day. Whenever I see one brick is placed at a time and being formulated, and it's just stuck at one position, I talk about I am making a move. I'll never go back to that kind of an area, because once upon a time, Maro once said that whenever you see a brick is placed at a point and it stuck there until tomorrow, you water the house and you find it's still persisting, you know that you are moving from one position to another. So I think this kind of a wall going to be watered, because it was constructed, it has to be watered already. So I'm going to be finishing the video, going to be watering it before I progress to another area. And what I'm just eyeing forward is much of the work going to be done here. Now it has remained the work of easy, because it's just the construction of a simultaneous wall around where now the gutter is. So that one needs not much of the top masons, but it needs less of the masons here. We can talk about the engineer who is making sure that is so accurate on what he's ever doing, so as he can just make something very meticulous and neat. So everything right now, it's a use of we can call it a waterproof, so as no leakage in top here, no leakage. It's just needed, as we are using the waterproofs, and right now I've reached where now the waterproof going to be used with an immense manner. So everything going to be coming to everything and every kind of the assumption. So I'm going to be updating what is next and what going to be coming in the next platform, in the next portfolio, so as people can be learning from A to Z. So as much of the people are following into what have you achieved today, what going to be achieved tomorrow. If I have a single step, it means that we are moving. We are not stuck at a position, because the emotion, and when we talk about an effort is applied, it's where an object is moving. So when I relate in such kind of what is an effort applied. If effort is applied and something never moved, there's no effort applied there. Even if you stunnered and talked about I want to make this, no, you don't make it. And what we are meant is there's no movement has been occurred, there's no effort done. So if we see a brick is placed at a time and we talk about there's a change, it will never be occurring at the same. Yesterday, whatever was yesterday, it's not what is today. And that is what we call a change. There's a change. If there's a change, there's an effort done and the work is done. That is a must. And much of the things are still ongoing, and to them, much of the people are growing right now, and they're talking about, oh, Gintu, we want even us to be lowered, whatever you are just doing, so as we can just do it. What are you doing which is so special? Because we are overtaking and making sure that Kenge is still knowing that you can never rethink and just underrate people, thinking about no one will ever come out to be who we are. Let me tell you one thing, because as a point, we can just go back to the history and talk about, there's a point that Mara was to talk about this kind of the people go and unsubscribe, go and do everything there and wait for them and tell them that they will never succeed. And he said this kind of the words that he's never God, and things will never ever move. But the fact has to come out that he's never will be, and no one will ever acknowledge him as God, and he's just a Neanderthal and a Neanderthal man. If you know the Homo habilis, Homo erectus, such kind of the aspiration of the human philanthropic, how they came up to evolve, which is called the theory, and we call about is just a Homo habilis. So he cannot even talk about what God has chosen. It will be in Jesus' name. And that's why we talk about amen and amen and amen every time. And to the real effect of the time is whatever he was just talking, right now he's saying that he's just counterfeiting himself and is the one who is failing every time and then, because we are making a progress, is just making other families to progress, like taking care of the in-laws, talking about he's leaving people of the village, and he's talking about, oh, Argentina, ABCD. But the fact is we have to go forward and make it happen, because there's no accusations, there's no more about allegations and such kind of the stupid fundamentals and lunatic psychopathism and such kind of the things that are lumamongers that will ever penetrate to our own minds and gut much of the time to our own philanthropic Alizbasha. For the postcoms and ostcoms of the day, we have to talk about things has to go forward, and we have to rechannel ourselves and talk about this is just the beginning and not yet, because I'm going to be starting up the kitchen premises at the top there, which is coming very soon, and also a perimeter wall. I'm going to be, I've seen the bricks will not be enough for me to construct a perimeter wall still. I'm going to be formulating, going to be starting very soon with 10,000 bricks again to have 40,000 bricks going to be constructed here at the G Castle. And still, I'm continuing to make sure that the things are coming in. And also, whoever wants to support Gintu, the numbers are open. You can just use the Western Union, you can use MoneyGram, you can use every transfer prototype, so as you can just support Gintu to make it happen. Because much of the people are talking about, oh, Gintu, whatever small is coming to my pocket. That is why I'm so different. That whenever somebody talk about, oh, I have 100 shillings, talk about I want to go and do, no. I don't have such kind of the postcoms. The only thing that I always do is to make sure that whatever counts to my pocket, it is going to do something meticulous and so good for the change of tomorrow. And the change going to be coming with the change. It's when you decide yourself to have a change. And if you talk about I want a change, yet there's no effect of talking about there's something effort you are just making for you to have a change, you are doing nothing. You are a failure. And that is the effect that is now coming out. And the people are just always growing. I'll be ever motivating you, because I don't see that tomorrow will never come. Talk about, okay, oh, we never knew that this will ever happen, because, oh, Gintu A, Gintu A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D. The only thing is you struggle and make it happen. It's you. No one will ever come to your life and talk about, I want you to have a change. It's you to decide onto your brain that my hypothalamus, it's now working properly or not working properly for you to decide on what to do next. If we want to do something next, make sure that you are sitting down analyzing, because how much times I'm ever writing. I ever have so many writings. And if you want me to talk about from how I started from the ground, because you understand, guys, how the ground was, the groundbreaking, how I demolished the house I was ever living. Right now I'm living in one of the cube centimeters there to make sure that everything is coming out so fantastic. And this is the G Castle. Much of the people and much of the leaders are still talking about, oh, Gintu is building much of the things. So let's wait for the moment to come and we'll just antagonize and talk about, oh, Gintu, everything is properly arranged and there's no much of a hesitation nor getting much of the jealousy about somebody. So the effect is let's struggle together. And I know because when we were ever still not getting or not having anything, we were having a challenge in the due time of that area, because much of the people are just talking about, oh, this kind of the people will never progress because of this and that and this. God doesn't wear a shot, and you can never know and you can never predict somebody's tomorrow. That is an effect, because to come up, even King himself will understand, and everyone who is just unto the village, every person, whatever person can just pass. We have a way up there, we have some ways down here. Much of the people are just looking about, oh, it's a very big house here and the Gintu is making it happen. And how? Because it's just a matter of time. And if this is what people can just be talking about is time matters. Because if time matters, it means that we're going to be having our framework and much of the things coming out so fantastic, and we're going to be making it. And despite the challenges, despite everything, we have to lower ourselves and bump ourselves and talk about tomorrow is another day. And tomorrow has 2 or 3 O's, which is opportunities are many than today, because today has 1 opportunity to an O, and tomorrow has more of 3 O's, which is representing more of the opportunities coming. And right now you have just seen we're going to be having much of the visitors approaching to the G Castle, and I've talked about people should be starting about talking about, oh, Gintu, can I get a booking, and I'm going to be coming for the party. The party going to be roaming out and we're going to be giving the party whenever we're going to be having a 3/4 of the house to be finished, because right now I'm still at like 5/8 of the house to be in a complete, because the only thing that's remaining here, I think it's the roofing and putting some tiles here and putting some tiles at the deck here, and also having some of the metal rods that are going to be turning around at the G Castle here to make sure that we are protecting and security purposes will be withstanded at this kind of the position. So every time, every day, we're going to be having a change, and whenever a change is coming, we're going to be accepting how the change is coming. So this is a call, and one of the most unique point I'm going to be putting out to the people who are always watching Gintu and talking about we have to move forward. This is where you can just get the reality, because we don't fake any of the things. You see and you judge and you act. And whenever you see, act and judge, you always come out and talk about, oh, Gintu has made something good and something which is withstanding the levels of the construction. And it's not that it's something, it's just a house. It's not for commercial purposes. And I'm going to be coming out whenever I seal everything here. Guys, whenever you support, we make other people, even the livings, to come out, because this kind of the construction has taken much of the people to another level. Like much of the people, they have bought some of the funds here. Much of the people are feeding their own families here. Much of the people are planting maize. They are buying much of the fertilizers from here. Much of the people are putting much of the students to the school. Much of the people are making it happen, because wherever you trust yourself and talk about, you're going to be working. And despite the talking about, oh, I don't want to see how Gintu is progressing, I want to see, I don't know, you will ever be a loser, because you are learning from somebody, and all the people are always available here are to make sure that we are moving from one position to another as we organize ourselves and talk about tomorrow is another day. And a call always has to come, because I know much of the people are somehow jealousy and talking about, oh, why is it happening to Gintu? Why not us? Even me, once upon a time, I told you one of the stories that we ever shot a video, and she was called Mama what? She came during the party time of Ayamarwa, and Mama what? I've not recalled it very fantastic, but it's Mama Gift. Whenever she came and I shot a video with her at my own fish ponds, then the video went good, and I shot with her at my fish pond. Why were not my videos going? But when she shot a video, it got much of the likes and people watched it. It's because of people shared it, and most of the people were recommending them. People ever knew them. So when they posted that kind of a video and got much of the likes, and she monetized with the 2 videos, and it was so much of the time I talked about. I asked even Ayamarwa one day, and I talked about why people can shoot a video with me and have so many views than who I am there, and it was my premise, and I could not make it during that time. Then he talked about, oh, Gintu, you know what? Your time gonna be coming. And even right now, there are people who are just talking about, oh, why is it happening to Gintu? Your time is coming also. And you just pray hard and talk about, always place God at the frontier, and make sure that whenever you are praying and talk about, oh, the living God is gonna be coming, every living God is gonna living coming, and everything gonna be so okay, and treat people equally. Because when you start mistreating and talking about, oh, this kind of a person, I have to talk, I have to meander here, I have to meander the other corner and talk about this kind of the people are A, B, C, D, you're going to be losing it. And the good heart that is giving, it's the heart that is receiving. And always whenever you are giving out, you are getting much of the blessings here and there, and you'll be ever making it into your life. And this is what we always talk about. We have to move forward and make it happen, because we are we and we shall be we. And I have been preaching so much, and people are going to be talking about, oh, Gintu, today you have given us much of the words here, and give us much of the things going to be coming out. And the only thing that I'm going to be having, it's just finishing the top here. And whoever want to support Gintu, and some of the people might be talking about, oh, Gintu, you are requesting much of the money from much of the substance. No, I always talk about there are people who are always hearted, and they talk about, oh, Gintu, you are making it happen. And we are from the past, we have been from the ground, now we are just moving to the top. We have been with you since ever, and we have stood with you, and we're going to be making it happen. That is the fact that we have to go forward and make it happen, because they know the struggles, they know how people are, and they know the construction. You can never ever talk about you can depend on only the salary that's coming, that you can just build the GCast like this one. Never be attempted. And you should be having a different money source, which is called also in agriculture we call them how do we call them, cash flows. Whenever we talk about a cash flow, is where you depend from different sources, so as they can just analyze something and still make something out. When I talk about it's very soon, I'm going to be starting a foundation here for talk about the perimeter wall, and also I'm going to be starting an open kitchen there, and also digging out or excavating out a hole that's going to be holding much of the water of the G Castle. It means that it's a progress that's going to be coming, and I don't hesitate about that one, because when I pump my heart and talk about tomorrow I'm going to be making something different, I want to be making it. Never hesitate and talk about, no, I don't have something. Whatever small you have, if you have like 200 shillings and you can talk about no, you know, 200 shillings can never, you can give somebody 200 shillings and talk about, I want you to dig me only a foundation. Talk about a foundation of 10 meters, and I give you 200 shillings, which is a 2 feet, and he digs and talk about a half a day, then he leaves. It's something you have made it. That you will never go back to that kind of time. Right now, I'm also having some of the things that are coming out, like making sure that I'm filling up. It's called. It's gonna be like you can see this kind of the level, guys. It's just coming up because it was a down, and it was like a road from down there. So it's now coming up because we have to move forward, because something small, even one wheelbarrow of we can talk about one wheelbarrow of loam soil for it to be placed at a point, and it's increasing. That is a move, and that's what we call about we are moving from one place to another. And don't hesitate about, this kind of the money is something small. That's where people lose it, and they talk about, let me go maybe to a club and dance a little bit there and get some of the street food. Oh, let me get let me buy this one. Oh, this one will be not enough. That small money is what another person need, and can do a job. And that's what I'm always using to make sure that whatever small is there can lure somebody and do something very meticulous. That is the effect of the day. Man, how are you? you can come and give yourself a shout out. We have somebody else here, and some of the people are talking about Ogintu. We don't see today Gichoro. I don't know what's the problem here. So he's here today, and we're gonna be saying where he was and what is really happening. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Everything is good, man.
Everything is
How
fine.
is everything, man?
Everything is
You have
fine.
been lost here. What's the... You have... all right now you are starting your own construction, man. You might be. Don't talk... Don't laugh. Because you can never know what's tomorrow.
For sure.
Say man.
For real, I've been kind of little busy. I've been preparing my shamba.
Oh, for planting?
Yeah, for planting.
Yeah, Warren. Even the condition right now, it's very cold.
And also, I was building a mud house for one of my neighbors.
Oh, helping.
Yeah, helping to build the mud house.
Yeah. It's a smearing.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
That's why I've not been here
and
the
there.
G Castle.
Yeah, the G Castle.
But I've said today
you want to be representing in the evening session.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. You can sell your own affidavit here and talk about who you are.
Guys, Gichoro here.
Yeah.
I'm always a handman here at the G Castle.
Exactly.
But in the past 3 days, I've not been here.
Yeah.
I've been somehow busy.
Yeah.
So I go by the name Gichoro. I also have a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
And right now, I have 255 subscribers.
Exactly. Guys, democratized.
Yeah,
Democratized
so
there.
Support me to reach even 500 subscribers.
Send me the link in my WhatsApp. Send me the link in my WhatsApp. Then I'm going to be pinning there. And to make sure that people are going to be going there and finding you at the comment section.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. But from tomorrow, I'll be now here officially.
Officially. So you have finished there all the things outside there?
Finished.
Have you planted?
I have not yet planted.
What's the problem? The warmth will be going over, man, from the soil.
I was just talking with the person for the cow right now.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
The yoke one.
The plowing machine.
The plowing and the yoke. Use over cows, eh?
Yeah.
And you're going to be using that one?
I was talking with the person, but he told me tomorrow there's someone who has already booked.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
They are coming here.
They're coming here?
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, so he has told me maybe...
Tomorrow but one.
Tomorrow but one. Maybe on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Because maybe it will take...
No, it's just one day here. And maybe he had another plan maybe. And maybe so I'll talk about this week, going to be in complete.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to go forward. And I never hesitate. If it's planting, plant the maize, man. And talk about whatever comes A, B, C, D. Whenever you see that things are not working, whenever I'll be buying some fertilizer here and there, maybe you can talk about Ogintu. I like 2 gorogoros. I can support you, man, with the gorogoro there and go and place onto your maize and make it happen, because whatever small you produce, it's gonna reflect in it tomorrow. And never talk about the land should be vacant because I don't have money. You just place. If you want some maize, which I always plant the natural one. I don't go and buy maize because they are always planted and they are coming out the way you are just planting them and harvesting. So I always plant the ones that have harvested.
But you have to soak.
I don't. It doesn't matter because the condition it's moist.
Sure.
Yeah, the soil is always wet and everything gonna be coming out fantastic. So you had a birthday and somebody surprised you a little bit and talked about Gichoro Wagwan. So that was a very fantastic. Guys, the last time I was with Gichoro here, we had a birthday here and we celebrated a little bit and we danced here and there and people enjoyed it and he got a little bit of a support a little bit and talk about happy birthday, bro, and everything is so fantastic.
So I didn't find some time to thank the person who supported me for the gift, but I thanked him in my video.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
That is so fantastic.
The person who supported me for the gift, I really appreciate it because the money that he supported me, I stored a little so that I can invest in my shamba.
Exactly. That's so awesome.
So the person who supported me, big up. I really thank you so much because you made my day and
you made it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Man. You remember we started by 30 shillings?
Yeah. No, 20. I started with 20. Yeah. Then Sigano gave you 10 shillings. You got 30. Then we talked about tomorrow is another day. And it became another day also. Sure. And to the real fact is that we are always supporting each other, despite that he's just a young YouTuber. Much of the people could not even give you a platform and talk about you don't have anything to offer to my channel. Because whenever I give you a shout out, if you could be getting to much of the people, how we were being told in the past time that when I go to ask about, hey, bro, can you give me a shout out? I talked about how many subscribers do you have? Talk about I have like 400. Bro, grow, then come. You understand? So we were being told that way, man. Grow, then come.
Because
then because there's nothing you can ever add to them. And what they need is how can you share? I give you a shout out, you give him a shout out, then I get 2, you get 2. That's what people need. But they don't know that even those 400 you have, whenever they feel that they can just come to you, they can come. It's not even me. I started with Mogese. I have 7,000. They have 3,000. So you can just get it and know that not everybody. We ever gave some of the video ever came as 3 amigos here and there, and they'll never come. All of them talk about, oh, I want to support. People talk about I like what the Gintu is, and I subscribe to Gintu, and whatever they talk about, oh, I like Gichoro how he is. You can just democratize and talk about, oh, Gichoro, let me support Gichoro. Is Gichoro.
For sure.
Gichoro. Gichoro. Exactly. And you can just get him and subscribe, like, share, comment, and also positive vibe always, and give him a support so as you can just make it happen. Thank you very much, bro, and God bless you. Tomorrow is another day. Say amen.
So before I go,
say amen.
Amen.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
We always omit amen. Tomorrow is another day.
I'm a true Christian.
Tomorrow is another day.
For sure. Amen.
You had something to say. Add it.
Yeah, before I go, guys, kindly, it's Gintu channel. Support him fully because he's always there for us boys in the village here. We always make sure that we don't go down. Don't go down.
Exactly.
For sure. Because he always gives us work whenever we come here. Like right now, you can see I'm coming here at the evening. I was coming to ask if tomorrow there's work. Man. So guys, if you supporting Gintu, support him fully, not even halfway, because he's a nice guy and he's a good role model to our village. Man.
And we're gonna be making it
happen.
Thank you very much.
For sure.
See you, man. Next time, next moment. Here we go. Next venue. Here we go. Exactly, guys. It's a point of how we go always forward, and we make it happen. And we talk about, thank you very much for everyone who's being tuned and locked in very firmly and supporting Gintu so as we can just make it happen. And we are making it happen for sure. We're gonna be making it happen because it's we and we and we. And also, guys, I have much of I told you about this kind of the charcoal here. We're going to be burning the charcoal here. We have already arranged the charcoal here. You have seen now how it's just looking like. And we have where we will be putting much of the fire. So we're going to be putting fire here so that they can burn it from down as we're going to be going to the top side of this area. We have 2 sides that are going to be located, and we're going to be putting some fire and getting fire here so as it can just be democratizing to burn. And this kind of the sticks that you see, they're just put around here is to make sure that they're going to be supporting the green leaves that are going to be placed on at the middle stage here, to make sure that you're going to be covering it and we can call it covering it so as the air cannot be penetrating to in, so as it can just be burnt very carefully and in a decent manner. So this is how it's just arranged. I'm going to be giving you the much of the recap, how we're going to be filling it with much of the stuff we are talking about, the leaves, and much of the soil going to be dug there and placed on top to make sure that this kind of the charcoal is coming out very fantastic. So right now I can just check to the other sides here. The files are always available, guys, and everything is so fantastic. So I'm gonna be having a perimeter wall passing from there, guys, from that big tree there. So as you can just be passing here and replacing this kind of a kitchen. It's here. This is a kitchen here. I'm gonna be replacing it with whenever I'm gonna be having the perimeter wall. I'm gonna be having getting from the perimeter wall an open kitchen that we're gonna be supporting as whenever we are indeed need of it. So as part of the bricks here, they have been broken, much of them, but not the way we ever recommended it to be. But there was a much of fire was placed here. That's why you see much of the breakages there here, but it's a much of fire was being placed. So right now I want Gachagua and Faida to continue having 10,000 bricks that are going to be coming out from this side here. So that's why I want them to make sure that they are placing them to the store here, so they can just sit here a little bit, so as they're going to be taken from this kind of the store as going to the other side. So I want this kind of the field to be covered with much of the bricks and be placed at about this kind of a section here. I'm gonna be replacing this kind of the iron sheets that are loosely attached here a little bit, but I know it's gonna be having a sense coming out. So we are going forward, and there's no much of a station of coming back, and this is the legacy that we're gonna be entitled and people to learn from, because everything is small. Right now I want to start formulating much of the bricks. Wherever you are, if you want to formulate bricks right now, you want to go with Gintu, how Gintu is doing it right now. Start selecting a place you want to formulate the bricks. If you want to go with me, and I'll be teaching you on how to do it. Follow my videos and I'll be updating you how next and how we're gonna be making it. Right now I'm taking this kind of the bricks from the field, and I'm gonna be making sure the field is placed so fantastic and arranged in a simultaneous area, so as the bricks gonna be laid here. Like 2,000 to 3,000 bricks are gonna be formulated here if the field gonna be full. I have these are the stuff. If you have not yet banned or bought this kind of the polythenes, make sure that right now is a rainy season, and also out from the rainy season, even if there's no rain, you should have this kind of the cavero, we call them cavero, or the polythenes that are going to be covering the bricks whenever you have formulated them out. And you're going to be making sure that everything is so fantastic. And also, whenever you want to formulate much of the bricks, the owner who are going to make the bricks here, they're going to be coming and updating you how you're going to be starting it and making it happen, and which kind of the box you're going to be using in terms of the size of a brick, so as it will be so fantastic whenever you are continuing with your own affidavit of the day. So everything gonna be coming to you one-on-one, and make a step. Even if a day passes you have not made a step, you are losing it. Make sure that you are making a step in a single day. Even if it's planting a nursery, even if it's placing a nursery somewhere, get a nursery somewhere and talk about these are the greens that I want to develop. Make a nursery, put there some of the seeds, let them germinate, and whenever they germinate, start preparing a seed bed, and use, even if it's a small section, prepare it and water the nursery. Make sure that this rainy season here, whenever you're going to be in a complete, right now there's a scarcity of greens. I'm telling you as a fact, right now people are looking helter skelter, Babylon Kihili Selassie. So it's you to decide on what to do in a next way. So everything is coming in a small way. Yesterday I planted maize already, and that is a real fact. So the maize is already onto the position. This area gonna be dug using a hoe here to make sure that I'm planting maize everywhere. Right now I've started for the next maize season. Right now I've started preparing this kind of the manure. Due to the rain, you're gonna be leaching a little bit, and it's gonna not have much of the affections, because I'm preparing this kind of the cow dung, and for the next season it will be already good. I'm gonna be bringing much of the leaves and burning them here to make sure that it's ash is acting like a catalyst. So whenever you burn here some of the leaves, and that kind of an ash is acting as a catalyst, it's gonna be so cost effective for you to use in your shamba than depending on the commercial fertilizer. So I'm preparing for the next time. I told you that for something to happen tomorrow, is somebody prepared it earlier. So that is the effect. Right now I'm preparing for the manure, and also to this kind of the shamba, much of the things are still coming out as they talk about this kind of the stuffs here. So right now I have the seeds here. I'm gonna be picking them out and putting them in a forum, so as I can just get the seeds from the mother plant here, to make sure that next time, before the other section of the greens gonna be getting off, another nursery will be onto the field, because we have this one still here, and they are coming out. So you can just see how healthy they are, to make sure that we gonna not have a lack of greens here. So right now these ones are small, the other ones, the mother plants are there. So we have the nursery beds already onto the position. You have this kind of the nursery bed. It's still now coming out. You can just see it's now coming out. These are they're here. They're going to be coming out, and already we have a bigger nursery which have them already. So you can just check from the outer area. We have already the ones that have developed. So it means that we are going with the system. We have others that are already placed at the area here, and they're going to be plucked. So they are so big enough. So it means that preparation is better. So for you to make it happen, so make sure that you are doing everything as recommendable. So this is just the last moment of making sure that you are gauging and getting much of the things coming out to you, and you're going to be replacing it and back to the G Castle, and everything is so fantastic. From if it's your first time you're watching this kind of the video, thank you very much for you reaching to this kind of an end and supporting the real G to make sure that everything is coming out. And every day we should have a single step. Even the fish pond right now there, it's ever coming out. It's just a plaster, and somebody can talk about, oh, going to be supporting with the assignment, and we're going to be making it happen. Let's go. Thank you. Next moment, next time, next vibe, same venue.